Hello. Just to set the context for this video, this is part of my personal YouTube channel for online dating. And the purpose of this specific video is to have a subject to discuss online dating in general and encourage people broadly not to be shy. Now, I need to make two clarifications. One is gender expectations, and another one is shyness in a committed relationship, both of which is not the subject, but I will briefly address them. And then lastly, just the request to not be shy. All right, so I've already stated my truth that I'm lousy at texting, and it just occurred to me as I'm writing this, when I was writing this, that I should start my text communications that way all the time, just because I am lousy, and maybe, anyway. So most of the text interactions that I have go nowhere, and it's just, anyway, a waste. So there's some unwritten rule that says that a masculine way of communicating and dating is that the guy is making the effort and the woman is pursued, or that the masculine person does the pursuing and the feminine person is the pursued. And that's not shyness, that's a possible gender expectation. But okay, I wish dating apps asked you what you think the other person should do, or which, pursue or wait to be pursued, or, something well developed along these lines. No disrespect to conservative women or small town women, but that tends to be the expectation from at least 40% of them or more, and a bunch are silent, so it could well just be higher, just an observation. Women and men that more frequently interact with lots of people and have advanced degrees, they sometimes flip that, meaning that they are women who prefer pursuing men, and they're more likely to be in urban settings or around universities. Also with that is that most of the men in rural areas away from universities will expect to do all of the pursuing, and mentally think, well, any guy who doesn't do all the pursuing is somehow less than a man or something. This is not a critique. I accept different cultural ways, whichever they are. This is an attempt to understand how rural and urban differences impact gender expectations. And by rural and urban, I'm really politely saying red and blue. In any relationship, you can say that one person is more or less the pursuer or the aggressor, and the other is more passive. This is particularly obvious in couples that are gays or lesbians. Regardless of the gender they are, one of them tends to have fit a more masculine role of the pursuer, and one of them tends to fit a more feminine role of the pursued. I'm not imposing those things. It just seems that life does that, or society does that, or I'm just observing that it happens. I'm not passing a good or bad judgment, and you'll find that one of the things about me is I don't judge. And maybe some people wish I did, and they're probably conservative. Anyway, this video isn't so much about gender expectations, it's about shyness in women who are okay doing some of the pursuing. So keep moving. Shyness is when you think, in my opinion, you own some responsibility in the courtship, and yet you sit there passively out of fear of risk, or for whatever reason. There's shyness before you date someone. That's what this is about. And then there's shyness after you're already in a committed relationship. Now that one's puzzling. And I would imagine it comes down to fear of being hurt, and I'm just trying to help here. If you want to be shy inside of a committed relationship, I ask the question if you're just afraid to get hurt. Now, everyone has a fear of getting hurt. You're not human if you don't have it. So actually what I mean to say is that I wonder if shyness is a defense mechanism, so that you are less likely to get hurt, even though you're already in a committed relationship and possibly contributing to its premature failure, and then later wondering why you can't make relationships work. Now, I was reading this later and I realized, that's almost like dumb of me to say, because another piece of it could be maybe they're in a committed relationship with somebody who isn't that quality of a human being, and their fears are based off of rational signals that they're picking up, like, this person's kind of giving off vibes that they're a jerk. If you're being shy, one of the key reasons might be because you're afraid to get hurt. And so maybe those fears are valid. Why are you afraid to get hurt? Oh, maybe because this person's giving off vibes that show that they're a jerk, and your unconscious is aware of it when your conscious isn't. I don't know. But I'd like to offer help for people who aren't a match for me, but who find themselves in that situation, right, in the future. But this is where I was writing earlier. Love is getting hurt, getting back up. It's also acknowledging that someone else is in pain and putting yourself out there to help them. And then to put a stop to pain just by holding their hand, if sometimes needs be. You wouldn't want to miss out on love, would you? Okay, so enough of that. Sometimes you're shy inside a committed relationship. We just covered that. So now we're down to pre-relationship shyness. And again, if you expect, as a gender expectation, the other person to do, you're a woman who expects the man to do 100% of the pursuing. That's not shyness, that's a gender expectation. Just communicate that. Maybe in your profile, hey, I expect the man to do the pursuing. I've seen that, I respect that. No problem, that's fine. Now, if a dude is texting you tons and you don't think that the man has to do 100% of the effort, then that's unnecessarily cruelty. Don't be shy in that case. Just say something like, you're sweet, but no thanks. This is my personal request, even for me. If I'm texting you a lot and you're like, no thanks, then just say, no thanks. You know, you can say something like, please stop texting me, although I'm flattered by the attention. We're not a match. You know, and that's just me. Okay, this doesn't work the way I wrote it. Anyway, so if you send me that, I might reply. I probably will reply, but I will say two things. You don't have to answer me any more than you already have, and that's A. And B, good luck in your efforts. I hope you find someone awesome. Thank you for your time, effort, which I appreciate. And that's it. Like, I might ask, are you sure? Okay, if you're sure, okay, go. Like I've said in other videos, the last thing I want to do, the last thing I want to do, it's just so funny to think about it. It's like so not. The opposite of what I want to happen, it's so not what I want to happen, is to spend time with the wrong person. To spend lots of time with the wrong person. Or a person that isn't a good match for both of us. You know, I mean, if I wanted to do that, I could have stayed with my soon-to-be ex-wife and saved a divorce and not turned my life upside down. And no. Okay. Now, maybe it's that I'm a grown-up and there's a whole bunch of other male people, or penis Americans, as I sometimes refer to them, out there that don't even begin to approximate adult behavior. I'm sorry. I wish my gender weren't so terrible. I'm not a jerk, and I work hard at having more emotional intelligence than a fifth grader. But even if it's not me, I just encourage you not to be shy. If you don't, if like again, if you have the gender expectation, I get it. Or you know, but in a non-committed relationship example, don't be shy if not. But what I hear from a lot of people is nothing. Silence, crickets. And you know, if it's not going to work, just say so. And if they start getting like all, whoa, it's them. It's 100% them. If they can't handle it like a mature grown-ass adult, it's them. Say, it's too bad you're demonstrating this sort of behavior, proving me right. Block. Move on. Don't waste time. Don't waste effort. Don't waste. No, it's a them problem. There's a lot of people with a them problem. You don't need to fix them. You don't need to repair them. Nope. Just keep moving. Alrighty. So. Yeah, I think there's lots of stuff here that I wrote that I don't need to say. I mean, sometimes it's best with fewer words. So that's it. Just, you know, give me a message, be direct. If you know it's not going to work, just say so. And save a lot of people a lot of time. And I think you'll feel better for being, you know, compassionate. Like, you know, and when a child wants an ice cream and throws a fit and screams on the floor, that's one thing. When an adult throws a fit and screams on the floor, do not reward that behavior. You're not helping anyone. You're not helping the adult. You're not helping yourself. Nope, they need negative feedback. So, okay. Alrighty. So if you're still interested in learning more about me, then pick another video. This one does not have a joke. I wrote the same joke twice, and we're just going to punt. This is the last one I'm filming. So pick a video before this one ends. The video choices are The first one is about this piece of jewelry that I wear. It's called an intention stick. It is, it's got the tree of life stamped on it. If you can see it up close, you can Google them. And you take words and you put them in there and you put it close to your heart, and then you live your life with intention. Like, I intend to have inspiration, joy/laughter, and love. Those are the 3 words that are in my stick today. And you can, there's another one on having a growth mindset and what it means to, be thinking about growth all of your life. There's another video about, that asks the question, what does it mean when somebody says, I love you? And it's a really good question to ask and to think about and to understand love as deeply as possible so that you're capable of experiencing and feeling and sharing and giving love. And I put it on the internet for nothing, for free, because, I guess it's part of my brand. Also, a little bit on my Myers-Briggs personality type and what I like to do for fun, but it's quick. And then, that's the choices. And like I said, I normally end with a joke, but I don't have one. This is just me hoping that I've made it easier for you to either swipe right or swipe left with confidence, so that, and that was a you plural to just the broad masses. So I'd like to meet the person one day that it doesn't have to be perfect, but is somebody that we will perfectly work together to have an amazing love that's human and real and flawed and involves forgiveness and understanding, acceptance and compassion and all those other good things. Alrighty. Best of luck to you, whomever you are, and the woman that I really want to build that future with. I hope you come sooner rather than later. Have a great day.